My name is Ian and welcome to Planted. In this video, I want to talk to you about increasing the flower production of summer flowering plants. Now this is a beautiful live leaf geranium, very available, very affordable. If you dry them out in the winter and you keep them at 40 degrees, you can have them for next year, which is what I did with these. But what I want to show you here is that a few weeks ago, I uncovered this plant and picked off all of the old flower heads and removed it from its shady position and brought it here. And in 2 weeks, its flower production has greatly increased because of the sunshine. It's very important to remember that plants need momentum and consistent growing conditions. If over a 6-week period they have good nutrients, good sunlight, good water, it's amazing what they'll do. But all it needs is a couple of days of bad conditions and they can start to deteriorate. Now, sunlight is one of those things that we take for granted. But this plant had been put under gradually increasing shade, and that shut down the production of flower buds. And as you can see here, we've got new flower buds that have been created and are in flowering, and there's lots more to come. This could go another 6 weeks, probably even more than that. We're in the latter part of August, and I've seen geraniums flowering late September, way into October. It's a tough plant, it's just beautiful, everybody should grow it. If you've got sunshine, this is the plant for you. Let's step back in time, and we're going back to late March, early April, and these plants were overwintered and then replanted, ready for this summer. Now the reason that I'm showing you this is that the whole nature of the Planted YouTube channel is to show you how to grow plants. Rather than going out and buying more plants and then letting them die and then buying them again next year, let's keep them alive. Let's get these plants planted. So this container was grown from plants that I overwintered. Now, as is the case, we underestimate the amount of growth that plants put on. This was a very, very sunny site. And this is our container. You can see we've got all these flower buds that have turned from flowers into seeds, and the flower production has shut down because it's not got enough sunlight. And this is something that you only experience in the second half of summer. It's a subtle difference, but it's a very, very important difference. We see sunlight very different to plants. And this is where my little experiment kicked in. I removed it from its increasingly shady spot and put it on a southwest facing wall where I knew it would get a lot more sunlight. And this is one of my favorite tasks, is manipulating plant growth by following some very key rules. And all I'm doing here is bothering, and it is a little bit tedious, but I actually enjoy it, to go through and cut off every single spent flower. When a plant has a flower and it turns to seed, it puts in a lot of effort to have that seed ripen. Now, it might not ripen, it might not be viable, but that together with a decreasing day length that we get in July and August, and the plant thinks, right, winter's coming, day length is shortening, I've got all these spent flower that may produce seed, I'll put my effort into growing those. But by bothering to very carefully go through and remove every single flower stalk, flower spike, and flower, all of a sudden the plant's got nothing else around it, and it thinks, well, I think I'm going to flower again. I'm going to put out some more buds. And that's exactly what it does. This pruning that you see now, this took about 45 minutes, which is obviously why I sped it up, because nobody wants to see this for 45 minutes. But don't take a shortcut. In your mind, do a quarter properly, and then do another quarter properly, and keep going. And you will get through it, and it will make a difference. And this is what you can look forward to. Now, in this example, I'm using the ivy leaf geranium, but it's the same for so many plants that you might want to have a longer flowering period in the summer. If they get shaded, flower production will be switched off, and new growth will be switched off. If you give it this consistent sunlight that the plant needs, it's very easy to switch that growth back on again, and along with new leaf growth, it won't be long before you get new flower bud growth. And that is exactly what we can see here. Here's that same plant just a few weeks later. I had mentioned before that this will flower long into the fall, into the autumn, and lots of new buds that are the same color as the new foliage. So it can be difficult to identify what's yet to flower, but there's lots of growth to come. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.